What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, and today we're going to be diving into the Baltimore Ravens' third down domination of the Cleveland Browns. Before we jump into it, yes, it is the Cleveland Browns. Yes, it was Dylan Gabriel and later Shedeur Sanders, but I mean, the Ravens had to start somewhere. The defense is beating up on some bad quarterbacks, but again, got to start somewhere. So do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. Taking a look at the numbers here, the Ravens holding the Browns to 2 for 14 on third down and 0 for 1 on fourth down. Absolutely critical in this game. Let's dive into exactly how they do it. So we're going to start here on the opening drive, and they're going to get into 3rd and 1 here, and it's really going to show how important it is to basically get ahead of the sticks against bad quarterbacks, because you don't want to be living in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and short, basically. So they do get into 3rd and 1 here, because what happens is when you get into these situations, you got to rely on guys to step up and make plays. And this is going to be just, they're going to come out here with a stacked up D-line. So you got John Jenkins in as a 2-eye technique on the left side. You got Travis Jones eating up the A-gap as a 1-tech, and then you got CJ Okoye as a 4-tech over top of the left tackle. So they're going to basically come out with a goal line defense, that nice stacked up four-man defensive line, and then the Browns are going to match with that kind of heavy split back look. And so they're just going to run this up the gut, and it's really going to be Travis Jones and CJ Okoye who hold their ground. And you can see right off the bat here, watch CJ Okoye. So he's going to just, rather than try and dart through, he actually just tries to eat the feet of the defender here. And see right there, he submarines. So kind of him submarining plus Travis Jones eating up this double team means that it creates a one-on-one on the backside for Brent Urban and John Jenkins. And Brent Urban, hell of a play here. He had a hell of a game. Brent Urban's actually going to beat his guy and wash down the line, get in on that tackle. So this is just good, defensive stalwart play by your defensive line. You bring in your big boys, you bring in 3 traditional nose tackles, and they just eat blocks. And so this was really Travis Jones, John Jenkins, CJ Okoye eating space, and Brent Urban making a nice defensive play. You see a nice fill from Teddy Buchanan, Alohi Gilman coming in there at the end. So just a really solid play on 3rd and 1. It sets up 4th and 1. The Browns actually got it, but then they got called for illegal formation. They end up punting on 4th down. So critical play there on the opening drive makes a big difference. The Browns work the ball down the field on their second drive. They get to 3rd and 7, and this is really going to show how that bend but don't break defense will work, because you'll see how they go into red 2 here, and again at 3rd and 7 they're just able to keep everything in front of them. It makes it really hard for the offense because they have the back line here in the end zone working as basically a 12th defender. And so we are going to run red 2, and it's red 2 for a couple reasons. So it's red 2 is basically cover 2, but you get a bigger drop from your 2 corners. And the reason it's advantageous is this ISO route, Jerry Jeudy against Awuzie here at the bottom. Usually what would happen is he would run that kind of hook curl zone here, and then the safety would have to take the deep part of the field. And what that means is you'd have the corner of the end zone being vulnerable. But in red 2, you get a softer play from the corner. So if we go back to the start, in cover 2, traditional cover 2, middle of the field cover 2, you're going to get him having that zone maybe a little bit deeper. In red 2, he's going to play a little bit softer and a little bit deeper, and that allows your 2 safeties to stay in tighter, and it almost becomes a pseudo cover 4, but it makes a huge difference because those safeties can stay in tighter rather than dropping and taking out the middle. And so right here you see exactly why that's important, because your safety is going to start to rotate to where the route runners are. And right here, as we're going to get that handoff, you're going to get Malachi Stark stepping up. Then they just got to throw that check down, and Teddy Buchanan steps up, makes the play. So on 3rd and 7, keeping everything in front of you, keeping everything in front of that front 5 makes a big difference. And that's why it's so critical to get into get out of 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, those types of plays. It's going to influence the play calling on the offense, but it's also going to allow you to play a little bit conservative, really play the sticks, and force those 4th down opportunities. Here we get into keeping them behind the sticks. This is actually a 2nd down play. I was focusing on 3rd down in this video, but there were a couple key 2nd down plays, and so they are 2nd and 11, and you're going to get Kyle Van Noy with the sack here off the edge, and just one hell of a pass rush here, getting that inside dip. And this is really just a good pass. So you're going to notice with Conklin, he's going to take 2 kick steps, and that's how Kyle Van Noy sets this up. So he's going to basically take that flattened edge here outside and force that 2nd kick step. So watch Conklin 1, 2, and as soon as he hits that, Kyle Van Noy is going to plant that foot and come back inside, and you can really see Conklin shifting all of his weight. If I go back and play it, you're going to see, well, here, let's go slow. 1, 2, and as soon as Kyle Van Noy flattens that, he's going to cross his face, and right there you get into that trouble zone, and Kyle Van Noy takes that. So we talked about this last week, and when I focused on what was different about the defense, and it's really guys stepping up and making plays. And there's Kyle Van Noy on 2nd and 11. He's been very quiet in the last few weeks, and he's just going to make a play. It's really that simple. And then that forces 3rd and 18. They run a dinky little screen that goes for nothing. And again, keeping an offense like this behind the sticks is so absolutely critical. You keep them out of rhythm. You keep Quinshon Judkins out of it, which is huge because that's really where their offense is going. This offense is designed to run the football, hit the tight ends. That's really all they got going. Jerry Jeudy just isn't able to be as effective because of the quarterback play. So, great opportunity here. Now we get the LeJontay Wester muffed punt. It gets them inside the 10. Typical Ravens game. It just feels like everything's gonna, shit's gonna hit the fan. They get into 2nd and 3 on the goal line, so they got kind of 2, maybe 3 opportunities to punch this in. And who do we talk about on the first stop? Brent Urban coming in, and again, guys just gonna step in and make a play. You're gonna see they're gonna start up with matching head over head on the D line, and then we get a nice little shift into the gaps. So they're going to get into an underlook right there. You see Brent jumps in as a 3 tech. Travis Jones gets in as a 1 tech. And Brent's just going to overtake the left tackle. This is just coming downhill right there. It's really that simple. He's just going to make a play. As that goes, boom, Brent Urban gets in there. Loss of 3 yards. And I'm telling you, even if they go for 0, 3rd and 3 versus 3rd and 6, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference of what defense you're going to play. It makes a huge difference of what the play call is going to be. So they get them into 3rd and 6, and you're going to get red 2 again off of this. And you're going to get a key play here from Keon Martin stepping in the slot for when Marlon Humphrey's kind of in that role. So Keon Martin's going to be there, and there you can see that red 2 approach. You got those 2 deep safeties here. You're going to get, again, those flatter, a little bit deeper zones from Wiggins and Awuzie. The Browns in this tight formation. Martin's going against a bunch over here, and they're just going to sort this out really well. So you're going to get the deep safety is going to pick up the man running the deep crosser. Jerry Jeudy's going to do an outbreaking route. Awuzie is going to step up, and then you get Keon Martin just sticking with his man. That's Harold Fannin, who as he kind of grabs Awuzie, Jerry Jeudy's going to be that target right here at the goal line. And look at Keon Martin, stays with him. Judy's going to run a spin move back inside. And Keon Martin right there, there's that white sleeve. He's going to stay in phase on Jeudy and get the PBU. So I thought this was one hell of a play from Keon Martin, just sticking with. They're going to pass off so well here. You're going to see him pass off to Awuzie. He's going to pick that up. Then he's going to step up and take Jeudy. That's just sticking into your zone and making a play. Oops, there we go. I got to figure out, how did I just make that bubble? I got to figure out how I did that. Hold on. Wait, when I pop that up, do I just hit that? Oh my God, I didn't even know I could do that. You can tell I'm getting old. We get into, big piece here. So we get into the second half, and Shedeur Sanders enters the game. And the Ravens come out, and I remember tweeting right before this kind of happened, send the pressure, send the house, challenge the rookie. It's his first time seeing starters, all that narrative out there. But it's at the same time, it's a rookie quarterback playing in his first regular season NFL action. Send the house, and the Ravens do just that, coming out with the sim pressure looks, and that's what we're going to see here over and over again. It's not necessarily that it's all out blitzes, but you're going to see them mug these A gaps. Use Kyle Hamilton as that threat with Roquan Smith. So they're both going to mug the A gaps here. You got Trenton Simpson. No. Oh, that's Gilman up there. I thought it was Simpson. I thought it was 35. So anyway, they're stacking up the outside, and right here they're just going to bail out Roquan Smith and then send Kyle Hamilton, and just all these different sim pressure looks that they're going to show. And Kyle Hamilton's just going to get in there and also knock the ball out, which was critical. So really, this is just Kyle Hamilton making a play. And if I want to show you guys, because apparently I can spotlight. There, look at that. Didn't even know I could do that. Here we're going to get in there. He's going to end up with, this is why sim pressures can be so nice, because you're going to get the Browns with a protection where their center is going to slide. And that center was sliding for Roquan Smith, who bails out. They're going to end up running a stunt. That's going to be picked up. But because of that, the backside A-gap defender, which was Kyle Hamilton, is going to end up with just Jerome Ford on him. And this is where the beauty of these sim pressures are, because it can create these advantageous one-on-ones. Jerome Ford with a nice step up, but Kyle Hamilton with a spin move off of him, and he gets it. Kyle Hamilton is just ridiculous. The fact that you can deploy him in all these different ways is just insane. On the next drive, they get into 3rd and 10. Again, importance of keeping them behind the sticks. And this is going to be the interception. So what do the Ravens do on 3rd and 10, 3rd and long? They're going to stack that line of scrimmage again. There's Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith in the middle. And they're going to just do another bailout sim pressure. So there's everybody's favorite coverage drop from Mike Green. They got DRE'MONT Jones. So he was lined up as an inside player. Mike Green's going to line up, or is going to bail out. And you can see right here, DRE'MONT Jones, it's really nice that he can do this type of stuff, because he can come in and beside Mike Green become that pseudo edge player as Green drops. As much as everybody hates seeing Green drop, that's how this works in the framework of this defense, because you're going to overload the right side of your D-line and get your bailout there. DRE'MONT Jones is going to step up, and you see right there, it's 1v3, and then they end up with 4v3 on the backside. And that pressure that comes through right there as we get the spin inside, that's where that pressure is going to come. That's going to force Shedeur to get the ball out. And as he throws the ball getting hit, it goes right to Nate Wiggins, who's going to undercut that ball. So again, that sim pressure framework, as much as guys hate seeing Mike Green drop into coverage, this is where you can get some advantages out of it. And I thought Green did a really nice job staying with the check down. And, again, there's that pressure. If you watch on the backside, if we're focusing on these four, you got Kyle Hamilton, Travis Jones, Kyle Van Noy, and then Alohi Gilman. And it's going to be Kyle Van Noy that's going to come back inside. So there's Hamilton setting the pick. There's Kyle Van Noy wrapping. And you can see as Kyle Hamilton set that pick, pulls the running back out of position, and there's Kyle Van Noy with the quarterback hit that forces that interception. So, just a really nice blitz package coming from Zach Orr on this one. Multiple times he's going to do this. Once again, we're on. They grab a first down on that 3rd and 5. It was that Sanders scramble where he stepped up and did that celebration. That really annoyed me. Like, you've been sacked. You've already thrown an interception. Chill out, bro. I don't even think he had a completion at that point. So here we're going to get another look. And so you can see here, we're not mugging those A-gaps on this one. So we got Kyle Hamilton outside. Again, looking at all the ways you can line up Kyle Hamilton. And off to the side right here, to that left side, you also have Keon Martin. And so it's going to be a critical play here. Kyle Hamilton's going to drop into that zone that would be kind of the Mike linebacker. Roquan Smith is going to blitz, and there you just get another pressure from DRE'MONT Jones. So DRE'MONT Jones is going to loop. Roquan's going to run the stunt here. DRE'MONT Jones is going to get after it, and he forces that, and then Keon Martin comes in and cleans up that sack. But that initial pressure really coming from DRE'MONT Jones, who, as we've talked about, he's lined up as an interior edge player here with Mike Green. where I think, that combination on that side be so creative. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to step up Roquan Smith, get that one-on-one outside with Mike Green, and then what that does is it sets up DRE'MONT Jones versus the Cleveland Browns center, and he's going to take advantage of that, get the pressure. Keon Martin cleans up the sack opportunity. So the Ravens blitz package in this game, absolutely insane. Now we get into 3rd and 12. We're behind the sticks again. The Ravens are going to come out and they're going to do the same thing. We're going to show that pressure. You got Gilman outside again. It's that same look where we're going to mug the A-gaps. We're going to put Gilman up on the line of scrimmage as an edge player. And that's mostly because David Njoku's right there. And run it from here. And then they bail everyone out. So they really only send 4 here. You're going to send Kyle Hamilton into the hook zone, Roquan Smith into the hook zone. And it's that pressure from Travis Jones on this one. So, again, guys making plays. And we're going to get Travis Jones versus Joel Bitonio. Really nice matchup here. And Travis Jones just going to win this. And I talked about C.J. Okoye making this pass rush move last week. So what he's going to do, this is going to be the hump. So he's going to push in with his outside shoulder, basically throw a hook. And what he's trying to do is get hip to hip. He wants to get his hip on the left guard's hip, because what that's going to do is create that opportunity right there to run through where he's not going to be able to create any sort of leverage. He turns Bitonio sideways and gets right into Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is going to go for the 6-yard scramble on 3rd and 12. The Ravens limit the damage there of him kind of getting outside to contain. And we get into 3rd and 10. And again, another look with Kyle Hamilton. So this is a play where you get Trenton Simpson outside. You got Kyle Van Noy lined up as a 4-tech. You got Mike Green on the opposite side. So they only have three linemen, but then they bring in a linebacker as an edge player. They bring in Roquan Smith here, and then you got Kyle Hamilton floating over almost as a Mike. Again, Kyle Hamilton's impact on this defense, how he's used, absolutely critical for their success. And he's going to step up and set the most beautiful pick. We saw it earlier on that 3rd down where Kyle Van Noy got the quarterback hit. He's going to set this pick on Wyatt Teller, who does not see it coming. Jerome Ford's stepping up to block Kyle Hamilton. He's going to come up, step in, take that, and Kyle Van Noy just comes through completely unchallenged. And there's that pressure, and that's an intentional grounding call that it was on 3rd and 10, and I think they ended up declining it, didn't they? No, they enforced that. They declined the holding call on the left tackle. You see Mike Green. Watch Mike Green on this. He's going to use that. He ends up one-on-one on the left tackle on the backside, draws the holding call, and there's just that cross chop, right? So you can see right there, he wins that inside corner or that outside corner as he turns, and he just gets tackled to the ground. So just the pass rush making an absolute impact here. But it's Kyle Hamilton setting that pick, Kyle Van Noy coming in, Trent Simpson gets a QB hit, Mike Green gets held. Just the Baltimore Ravens pass rush causing chaos here. Now we get a key player from Awuzie. They're going to take a shot here. They're on 3rd and 5, and they end up going for an end zone shot. And it honestly wasn't a horrible shot by the Browns. You're going to see here, Awuzie is going to kind of get caught with his back to the ball. Looks back here, ball's right here, and as it comes in, Awuzie does what Brandon Stevens was never able to do. And you see him as this play comes in. That left arm comes out, and he just plays through the catch point. His hand is just going through where the receiver's hands are. And this is one of the things that Brandon could never do, because receivers would show their hands. Brandon would try and do it, but he just wasn't able to properly mirror where that ball was going to go into their hands. And here, I thought Awuzie did it just in spectacular fashion. So he's going to get into a trail technique. Head comes back. He knows that ball's in the air, so he looks. Where's the receiver got his hands? I'm going to play my hand through his hands. And then we get into 4th and 5. This is where they went 0 for 1 on 4th down. And the deadline acquisition, DRE'MONT Jones, is going to time the snap like nothing I've ever seen before. Let's play this through real time, and then we'll kind of look at. So just watch him time the snap. Did he jump? Let's go. Ball not snapped, ball not snapped, ball not snapped. I don't think he crosses the line of scrimmage. Right? Because he's got to cross, so right there. Because he's stepping. he can take a step. He just can't cross the line. So it's not movement like a false start. I think he just times this perfectly. That is actually insane because there's that ball moving. That is just a disgusting play here from DRE'MONT Jones. And as he kind of gets through, you can see him push those hands down. And then there's the pressure. Ball thrown. Roquan Smith cleans it up. Baltimore Ravens win. So, really what I wanted to focus on here was the pressure packages that they used against Shedeur Sanders. I thought that was Zach Orr playing phenomenally. Kyle Hamilton's usage, absolutely absurd. Just all the different ways they lined him up. DRE'MONT Jones, Travis Jones, guys stepping up, making big plays in the pass rush game. All these things that weren't happening early in the season, back-to-back weeks. Again, against bad quarterbacks, fair enough. But they step up and they make plays when they need them the most. So I thought this was a great effort by the Ravens defense. They got the Jets next week, so they can kind of stack defensive performances against Justin Fields, a guy that's going to give them different challenges with his legs. But I just thought they played extremely well in this one. Very disciplined, and I think they're starting to really buy into what Zach Orr wants to do. So we'll see what happens when they play a top offense. We got the Packers and the Patriots coming up pretty soon before the playoffs will start. But just keep stacking performances. That's really all you can do. You play who's on your schedule and you keep rolling. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.